Welcome to another episode of What Did I Miss with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be covering all the stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth. From movie and game reviews to movie and gaming news to anime to comic books and honestly anything else I feel like yapping about. Now that the stock intro's out the way, this week, bro, they dropped so many trailers. So we're gonna be getting into that. They dropped the Boys season 4 trailer, which honestly was a surprise. I honestly was not expecting them to drop that this soon, but we'll get into it. We got the Furiosa trailer. It's a Mad Max in the Mad Max saga, it says, I think. So we got that. We got the Fallout 4 show. Well, not Fallout 4. It's set after Fallout 4, I'm pretty sure. But we got the Fallout show by Amazon Prime. We'll get into that. And then surprisingly, a new one on the radar, the Book of Clarence. I'll get into that. That looks really interesting. It has a really good cast, and it looks good. But the this week's main topic though is Godzilla Minus One. Spoiler. Hold on. Spoiler alert. I liked it. I honestly cannot wait to get into that. I really liked Shin Godzilla. Um, the last like Toho Godzilla movie. But yeah, I'll get into that. I really liked it, but there'll be time codes below if you want to jump around to any piece of news or to the main topic or whatever. So let's just get into it. Michael Waldron has been set to write Avengers Kang Dynasty. So before, I don't know if it was last week, but apparently I don't know if I honestly talked about it. I probably did, but my memory is very bad. So yeah, be prepared to deal with that. But yeah, Michael Waldron. He's set to write Secret Wars, and Avengers King Dynasty. So Avengers King Dynasty is Avengers 5, and then Secret Wars is Avengers 6. So he did Loki season 1. I don't know if he had a hand in Loki season 2. Let me check on that real quick. Did Michael Waldron. Oh wait, and then he also worked on WandaVision, if I'm not mistaken. I think. But most notably, but a lot of people are so he wrote Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. Um Sam Raimi definitely saved that movie. His directing style and everything. Um, I mean, not purely him, but that added a lot of, at least for me, it was a big saving grace. So there was other things to like about the movie, but a lot of people. I wouldn't. Let me. I need to stop saying this. I keep like saying a lot of people, but it's honestly just people I've seen on Twitter. That's where not all my news comes from. I guess comes from. I like see my news on Twitter and then I go out and research it. But point being, I need to stop saying everyone when it's really just a handful of people, more than a handful of people, but even like 10K people agreeing with something on Twitter is like a drop in the bucket of the majority of like people outside of Twitter with opinion on the thing. So, anyways, people on Twitter have been saying, "Oh, he directed Multiverse of Madness, and that movie wasn't that great." I don't think the script was that good either. Just like the overall like plot and pacing and stuff. Maybe not pacing. I gotta watch that movie again to say that for sure. But just the writing and stuff just wasn't great. And he did that, but apparently he only had like I was about to say a week, but that's crazy. I think like a month or something to write a script for a full movie, and he probably didn't like start from scratch. Maybe he did, but so that I don't think that was entirely his fault. But I was looking up. Did he work on season Loki season 2? Loki season 2. Um, Loki, because I think he. Oh wait, he wrote for Rick and Morty too. I think my whole like a whole vibe changed when I saw that. I mean, Rick and Morty's not terrible or anything, but that's just not very what's the word? Reassuring to me. I just see uh Yeah, I just see for Loki season 1. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure about Loki season 2, but I mean Loki season 1 was pretty great as well. So, yeah, so he's set to be writing those movies, which is great. I mean, not great. It's I like his work, I guess. I mean, I like Loki. Like Doctor Strange 2 was like fine for the most part. If he had really only a month, then like, that's understandable. So I mean, let me say there's potential in the script to be great. Um I don't think it will be like downright terrible, but I think it's definitely this is a good sign overall. And then you have like Sam Raimi in talks, not in talks, but rumored to be um a top choice for to direct those two movies, which I would be great. These two collabing. I can't really say like if that would be for sure great, but I think it would be definitely spawn something at least interesting, So I'm glad that he's on that, and then and these movies are a well away. I'm pretty sure King Dynasty is not set till like 2026. And so if Secret Wars is, the sequels to that, it's going to be after. Um, and then with Avengers Infinity War Endgame, I think there was like a year apart. So it could be another thing like that. So maybe 2026, 2027. I don't know if there's a really a set window for Secret Wars. I could be wrong though. But on the next piece of news, Iman Vellani, the actress for Miss Marvel, she spoke to was it to the direct? The article I have right here is yeah, so it's from the direct. She spoke with them and they were talking about, various I think a couple of things. And she mentioned that Miss Marvel has a key role in Marvel's Zombies. So that's a spin-off show from the What If series. There was a What If Zombies episode in that show, and I think that so what if the Marvel Zombie. So it's animated and it's gonna be Marvel's first TVMA thing, Disney Plus thing, I think. And so there is the what if what I'm trying to say the what if zombies episode that was fine. I think I enjoyed it. There was a lot of it was cool seeing like the characters zombified and seeing who was alive and whatnot. See who died. Like from the team that survived, seeing those members die and stuff. So it was. I think I like that. I like that over episode overall. So I'm definitely open to see or watch this Marvel zombie show. So like the cast that survived, this is probably not all of them, but we got what's her name? Yelena. So Black Widow's sister, Kate Bishop, what's his name? From Ant-Man 2, the FBI guy who's also in WandaVision. What's his name? I'm not sure. But yeah, he was the guy who's like doing like magic tricks with the card shit. I like his character. You have Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, the Death Watcher from Shang-Chi was like his like trainer slash torturer, Red Guardian, and I think it's the lady friend from Shang-Chi. So this lineup is fine. I mean, we've learned about this lineup before, and I wasn't really too like impressed with it. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's whatever. It's a whatever lineup to me. But we have like a couple new Marvel zombies. There'll probably be more, but confirmed like we have a zombified Abomination. I think a zombified Icarus from Eternals. That would be a really strong zombie. He's like basically, I wouldn't say nearly as strong as Superman, but he could fly, has lasers and shit, super durable. So that might be a problem. Carol Dam. Ooh, that's about to be sticky, icky. Carol Danvers zombie, Captain Marvel, and then you got Miss Marvel. So that would be cool. Won't see interaction, but cool seeing how Miss Marvel will react to seeing her idol Carol Danvers zombified, and honestly to see all the characters zombified. It's going to be interesting to see her reaction to it. And then these, I at least know for sure Miss Marvel is going to be voiced by Iman Vellani. I'm not sure about the other characters because sometimes they'll get the voice actor back or not the voice actor back, but they'll get the actor to play be the voice actor for the character. I forgot which characters in What If did it. And then I know Chadwick Boseman did his That was like one of his last roles. Rest in peace, Chadwick. He had a really good episode. I really liked the episode a lot. But there's a couple other people, and then they just got voice actors for the ones that didn't come back. Um, the Marvel Zombies comic. So that what's interesting. So Miss Marvel's gonna be like a main figure in that in the show. So is it gonna be something with her bangles or something like that? Maybe because it's Loki can go across space time type shit. I mean, it opened up spoilers for the Marvels, opened up like a breach in the multiverse type deal. And then it transported Miss Marvel to the maybe not was she physically transported, or was it just like a like a mental thing? But like the Bengals transported her to the past, quote unquote, transported her to the past. She saw like the history with her. I think it was her grandmother, maybe one of her distant family members. So it could be maybe they could be trying to like link her to maybe go back in time or something. I'm not sure. I mean, because we already went back in time with the quantum with the PEM particle, so maybe they don't want to redo that. But also, it's this is I was gonna say it's what if, but this is Marvel Zombie, so maybe they'll think of a different way to go back in time, and maybe it has something to do with her bangles. But I was gonna say though, relating to the comics, um, I didn't read, but I watched like the comic story and YouTube videos on it, if him like recapping it or whatever. I'm just trying to remember. I'm just so in the what if episode featuring like this universe where this show is gonna be set in. The zombies weren't sentient as I recall, because in the comics, so they're they eat people and stuff, but they have like this insatiable, is that the word, incurable insatiable hunger, where like they're just constantly hungry and they like want to eat people and shit. But once they eat and for a bit until they get hungry again, they're like kind of they regain like their like I was gonna say focus, but because I want to say like they're conscious the whole time, but they regain control, so they're not just like ravenous and shit. So like they can actually like talk and properly think and stuff. So I wonder if the show's gonna go that route, which I would be interesting because I don't think any of them even showed a sign of some sentientness, but they could go that route. Which I mean, I'm not really, which would be cool to see, but then that'll just be kind of like the comics. So if they did have their own little twist on it and how it played out, which that would be cool. And honestly, I'm trying to like figure out in my mind which way I would want them to go to be like sentient, like once they get that hunger cured, like are they able to talk it out and whatnot, or if it just should be like mindless and they're just kind of on the run and just have to figure out a cure or something, or go to a different timeline or on some Rick and Morty shit, like how they Cronenberg the original universe and literally just went to a different timeline where they died and replaced themselves. That episode, those early episodes of Rick and Morty are really good. I think I was shitting on it, but because I think it was like the 10-year Rick and Morty's been out for like 10 or came out like 10 years ago. And I remember when that show first came on, like I really liked it. I think I dropped off probably, what are they on, like season 6 or 7 now? I think I dropped off maybe like season 4. Maybe I think I watched season 4 and like stopped at season 5. Because I remember like the fucking like fish guy that was like Rick's nemesis or some shit, and he's like a play on Namor, I think, or something like that. Yeah, that's. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, when they were like find a different timeline or whatever the deal is. Yeah, so I'm interested to see I'm interested to see Marvel Zombies. And so the next bit of news is Tom Holland. He was speaking with Collider about Spider-Man, and he was basically saying he doesn't want to make another Spider-Man for the sake of just making another Spider-Man movie for money or whatever. And that he was like feeling very protective of the character, which is cool. And like how he's very lucky that they've been able to get better with each movie, which some would argue with, but I would say his acting definitely got better. To me, I think Homecoming's still my favorite. I like all of them. I think I was shitting on kind of No Way Home last week. Just visual wise, that movie's like a little shoddy, and like I mean I explained it. Like there's other things to like about it, but like the things that I typically like about movies and shit, and the ones that I like hold to a high standard like they just do better than what they did in No Way Home. And I mean like writing wise and looks and like, you know, look wise and stuff and CGI and everything like that. But over I that apartment scene great, you know. Am I just recapping No Way Home? Yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road. But there's other great scenes besides that apartment scene and stuff. And besides Toby and Andrew, which they kind of, I mean, yeah, whatever. But I think also I saw this week there was like rumors, or maybe it was like a confirmed thing, is that like Tom Holland was like actively shooting down a bunch of like pitches for Spider-Man 4, and I think or not, I think last week I said that a couple movies were gonna lead into like and set up, you know, Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, one of the two, and I said Spider-Man 4 was one of them. So maybe he's just getting a bunch of multiversal scripts um, that are doing like, you know, more multiverse stuff to set up, you know, Kang Dynasty and shit. And like I said, I really want Spider-Man 4 to be grounded. I anything has the potential to be good, and so does like, you know, the multiversal storylines or whatever they come up with. But I just really don't want to see that, and I guess that's like the main focus of this phase and shit. And so we get into with Kang, but I just really, especially with Spider-Man 4, and I guess I'm not over the concept, but specifically with this movie, I just want to see something else, you know. I'm sure that they will keep making Spider-Man movies over and over again, and you know, but I really like this one, and that point was being that like even if it is another multiversal movie, and this movie's like fucking trash, it's whatever, they'll keep making Spider-Man movies, but still I want this particular version to be good and great and shit and whatnot. And multiversal shit is a little just come on, just want something else. um did I freaking mention it is currently, well, I guess it's Sunday now. It just turned 12. But usually I record these on like early like Sunday. But I'm about to be super busy Sunday, and I was gonna record Sunday morning, but then I was gonna have to rush, and really it was gonna be like an hour episode. I was really gonna like talk about these couple pieces of news and Godzilla. Um, but I just didn't want to rush and shit. So it's like 12, and so sorry if my energy is kind of lacking a little bit, but yeah. So that's that's my situation right now. But on to some Marvel rumors. Doctor Strange 3 is reportedly in the works. So this is from Daniel Richardson. I don't think that's his name. I keep saying RPK, and I think that's fine, but he does have a last name in it. And okay, I know I'm like still like talking to the void right now. Not many people or any people listen to this or listen to it for any significant amount of time. But how do people feel about like rumors and stuff? Because I'm gonna get into a couple of rumors, and it's from the Daniel RPK Richmond. But then I was also thinking though, like there's a lot of there's always gonna be rumors and shit. So it's like, should I keep going over rumors and stuff? Like it's fun to speculate and everything for sure, but it's just like, you know, how I don't know. It's like when I see like, how do you feel when you see like rumors and shit? Like, do you like, okay, this is, because I was like reading some replies and like it's like, oh, it's right here. It says Marvel just tossing us all the news these past 2 days. And this was, he like lists like a couple like rumors, and so some people people think like these are and oh, let me finish that point. Do people think these are like actual news? I don't know. When I see this, I just be like, oh, something that like I talk about it, or like if I wasn't talking about it, like I see it, you know, think about it or whatever, and that's like it's in the back of my head. Like, and then when they officially announce it, I'll be like, oh, like I probably don't even think back about it. Oh, I saw that. Oh, maybe I'll say like I'll remember I saw the leak or something or the rumor, but I won't remember who it's from. But I don't know. So I have not decided if I just want to keep bringing up rumors and shit. So, but anyways, on to some rumors. Yeah, so Doctor Strange 3 is reportedly in the works, which is he had like a at the end of his movie, he had like a little teaser with Clea, which is the daughter of Dormammu. That was like it's like Clea or Clea. Dormammu, he was the big floating face in Doctor Strange 1, which I was kind of disappointed on his look in that movie because he has this cool flaming skull Ghost Rider look to him. Not yeah, kind of like flaming skull, kind of like Ghost. Let me look him up. Dormammu. I can't spell that, but autocorrect got me. Yeah, I mean, not exactly like a flaming skull, but let me look it up. He looks like it's like an orb that's on fire. Great description. He's like a. I was about to say the same thing. It's an orb on fire, but it really is like an orb on fire. And it's like a crown, like a kind of around it. It's a decent. It's a cool design. These ones look cooler. The one I was looking at was just kind of like, it was like an orb on fire. But yeah, he is a cool design, and they kind of just made him a big floating face in Doctor Strange 1. So if if Doctor Strange 3 is in the works and they are continuing with the storyline that they set up, which they should, but that's sometimes not the case. What's it called? Then if it's Dormammu's daughter, hopefully we see Dormammu again. And we did see him. He was like in his realm or some shit. So maybe that they could say like, oh, that's his main or his true form. And when he like ventures out or comes to like a more humanoid form, he like takes on that more flaming skull look. Or if they do a totally different design, if he's even in the fucking movie, this is pure speculation. I would be fine with that too. I mean, if it's ass, then obviously then it's ass. But if it's different than how it usually looks, then it's fine. Oh wait, hold on. So I mean, I'm looking at this picture right now of Dormammu floating head thing, and he kind of like has that crown thing. I don't know if this is fan art. Did we see this in the movie? Because I swear we just like kind of saw his face. I didn't really see any side bits like for his crown. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough. I don't know. These kind of look like he has it. But I will not be watching that movie just for that. So who cares? I guess. But yeah, Doctor Strange 3. Well, like I was saying, Doctor Strange 2 wasn't that great, but I mean there's some really good elements in it. Like I said, Sam Raimi's directing. Some of just like the story elements were pretty cool. I really liked America Chavez. Scarlet Witch. Her. Not everything was handled with her correctly, but just her overall Elizabeth Olsen's performance, that like just villainous performance, was great. Just how she was when she attacked the monastery or whatever, and she was just super. That speech she had when she was like floating in the air talking to strangers, fire. Oh yeah. Oh no, when he left her like orchard, he said Wanda won't be coming, it'll be the Scarlet Witch. Like she was dropping some fire ass lines. She was super great in that movie. And then like when Zombie Strange has like the cape and shit, and then obviously Wanda slaughtering the Illuminati was funny. I don't know, it kind of hurt my heart to see Reed Richards die like that. John Krasinski, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was fun seeing her tear through that. There's some really good moments. I really like the visuals of I really like the visual of America Chavez's powers. At one point she does like this and like she can punch holes through the multiverse pretty much, but at one point she uses just like soft, like as softly as right, like so she punches a hole, like so when she punches a hole through the multiverse, it creates like this star silhouette. But she uses her powers, but she doesn't like use it to punch a hole. She like punches like this brick, and it creates this like star outline through the brick. It was just a cool little visual. So I like how they portrayed her powers and stuff. You got like Zombie Strange and shit. That was cool. I mean, yeah, there's some cool things. But so yeah, I'm definitely open, even though I wasn't 100% on the movie. I'm definitely open to see Doctor Strange 3. I think he's a super cool character, and they just been kind of underutilizing him. I mean, he's been in low-key quite a few things, but he's just been in the background. They definitely need to push Doctor Strange to the forefront. I don't know why they've just been lacking on that. They just been missing a key figure in the forefront in general. Like no one really has taken up and stepped up. And I guess, the universe is kind of fractured right now. Shit got to come together. Teams got to reform and shit and whatnot. But just even still, when I guess they kind of, you just because I'm just thinking of the early days of the MCU before the Avengers. You really only have like a couple key characters. Like you only before the Avengers, where you only got like Iron Man, Cap, and Thor like movies, and Hulk. But like that was like yeah, it's connected. But so it's like you only got a couple characters. So that's why they feel like early days, those feel like the central characters going forward. And then even when new characters are introduced, you're still purely focused on Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. So it's like those always felt like the key focuses. And then once they stepped out of the light, we just haven't. There's just been so many like introductions of characters and shit, and they just haven't really pushed one like or a couple to the forefront, really, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that if I give it some further thought. But yeah, that's what I was saying though. Like Doctor Strange, he's been in shit, but he hasn't like had a like even in his own movie, he was kind of playing like the second fiddle, which I didn't really mind. Like Wanda was a compelling, like I said, they didn't handle everything, but I think like she had some. I don't think our motivations were super strong, but the way she went about it, it was I don't even know where the fuck my point was going, but it's late. I'm sorry. I'm literally drinking a Red Bull right now, sugar free. Don't worry. My heart will explode on my body, but at least my blood pressure will be low. Is that blood pressure? No, that's salt. I think. Fuck, I don't know. It's late. That's my excuse. Okay, so we have two more rumors, and then we got some miscellaneous bits of news before we get into the trailers. But Marvel Studios reportedly wants Thor 5 because okay, rewind. I think I said like last week they were reportedly working on Thor 5 with Taika Waititi not there. I have a piece of kind of funny Taika Waititi news attached to this Thor 5 news, but yeah, so they were reportedly working on that. So with this news, so let me just read it. Let me shut up and read it. Well, I can't shut up, but yeah, you get it. I don't know what is it the sleepy juice, bro? I'm just like I don't know. Got the giggles and shit. So Marvel Studios reportedly wants Thor 5 to have a darker tone, which I'm on board for. Gareth Edwards is one of the directors that the studio is eyeing to helm the project. Let me get in that, and I'll get into the Taika Waititi news. So a darker tone. I think I literally said that. I'm not the main person saying this. I've seen this statement reiterated multiple times on Twitter, but a Thor 5 darker tone on board, more Viking vibes, lean into that King Thor vibe. I don't know. We just need some more serious. I'll be talking about, I didn't get to it, but I'll be talking about a Beta Ray Bill comic that I found. I'm super excited to get into. I'll be talking about that after the main topic and in the weekly watch list, but I'll get into that later. If you don't know who Beta Ray Bill is, he's like fucking, for simplistic terms, he's horse Thor. He's a horse humanoid guy that wields is worthy of the hammer. I think he's a really cool character. I don't know. Well, I'll talk about it. I don't know a whole lot about him, but he's been sprinkled in, in various media outside of the comics. And I just always been, oh damn, he's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll get into it. All right. So Taika Waititi, so he did the last two Thor movies, Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. I don't know why I was blanking on the names. It's late. Which Ragnarok was, I'll get into it. It was I liked Ragnarok a lot, but I'll get into the flaws when I get into it I'm just repeating myself, Dennis. Jesus. It's late. All right, and then he did Love and Thunder, which was butt ass cheeks. That was terrible. Get that? I wish I could fucking Men in Black mind wipe myself. from that movie. There was some. I'm just being like dramatic. There were some decent parts in it, but overall, it just did not. That was not the way to tell that story. But so Taika Waititi said he was talking on some Spotify pod or some podcast. I don't know if it's like exclusively on Spotify, but that's where the link said. I tried to click the link to go like, I don't know, give it a listen or find the part where he said this, but I tried to click the link and then my laptop said this site is not secure. And yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna. I'll take your word for it, Bucko. Even though I've literally have Spotify on my computer. All right, whatever. But he said I had no interest. So he revealed that he joined the MCU for the money. He said, I had no interest in doing one of those films, but I was poor and I just had a second child. And I thought, you know what, you know what? This could be a great opportunity to feed these children. He's in it for the bag. Can't get mad at that. Like he's doing his profession for the bag. Can't get mad at that. But, so I was saying I really like Thor Ragnarok and I did, and he says, I had no interest in doing one of those films, and so I'm not in the fucking Hollywood. I don't know why I said that so aggressively. I'm not in the Hollywood industry, so I don't. There seems to be this stigma around like superhero films, and I just seen various people like actors, like warn actors, stay away from the superhero machine or whatnot, or early on, like I think Leonardo DiCaprio told Timothy Chalamet like, stay away from superhero movies or some shit. So there's like a stigma in like directors, some like prestigious directors, not really liking them cape shit movies, superhero movies, saying, they're just roller coasters. So yeah, there seems to be like some stigma, and he just wanted to do it for the bag. Great. But what I was saying though about Thor Ragnarok, even though I really did like it, his lack of care for the characters was definitely felt. Specific, and so I think it definitely starts in Thor. Well, Thor 3, so it's Thor 3, I'm just call it Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. It he got like lucky with that because no one cares about the characters that he mishandled. So, and let me stop acting like I fucking love these characters to death. Like I were introduced to him in Thor 1. And I really haven't really seen anything, maybe some cartoon shit after, after the fact, that MCU was popularized, but he has his main like group of friends is the Warriors 3, I think. It's like ladies or the Warriors. There's more than 3, so I don't think it's called the Warriors 3. But it's a group of warriors that Thor's close with. There's like Lady Sif, there's this Asian guy, and there's Shazam, the guy Zachary Levi. I think they switched his actor out or some shit. I don't know. And then there's Ray Stevenson, the Punisher. Rest in peace. And I think that's it. But there was like they were in Thor 1. It's like they're his friends. Like when he gets banished from Asgard, like they're like kind of speaking on his behalf, like where the fuck is Thor? Like Loki, they see Loki like taking the throne and shit, and they like literally go to Earth and I forget the events, like rescue him or just see what's good with him and shit. So it's like it's his cast of characters. Like you got Iron Man with fucking Pepper Potts, and I guess you can add Coulson in there, but he's kind of like with everyone. But mainly featured in Iron Man in movies, and you got Happy and shit, and like Spider-Man, you got Ned, you got MJ, you got Aunt May and shit. That's his. That's their cast of characters for their movies and shit. Obviously you get crossovers when they do their Dougies and shit, but so just like how they have their cast of characters, Thor had his, and I don't think I could be wrong about this. I haven't really seen Thor 2 in a while, but no, they're I think they played I don't know if a decent role, but they're in it. They're definitely in Thor 2 because I remember like somewhere in the beginning when Thor is the planet with a rock guy. I think the guy that like the species that Korg is. I think he's like fighting with on the homeworld or helping protect the homeworld of the Asian guy. I should probably stop calling him the Asian guy. And then I think the Zachary Levi's character, the guy with the sword, blonde guy with the sword, he like helps them escape Asgard or something like that. So they're definitely in it. So, and then all yeah. So in Thor 3, he kind of just Taika Waititi just kind of not even kind of he just killed them off just without a even bat in the eye. Like it wasn't no big moment like oh shit like Thor's like oh damn my niggas is dead, nothing like that. Like I don't even think this nigga spoke on it, I'm not even gonna lie. So him being in it for the money is not surprising. It's very evident in the way he treated some characters, and then you have that further extended in ways that kind of rubbed me more the wrong way in Thor 4. Kind of just really said fuck the God Butcher, the storyline and shit, and really made a mockery of a lot of the characters, which, you know, I don't think it's like 100% bad to go in the comedy direction, but just the characters he was dealing with, the themes he was dealing with. And I'm not saying like darker themes can't be shown in more comedic settings, but I don't know, it just did not fit that vibe of the story, honestly. You're dealing with Jane Foster, and I'm not saying this like has to be so fucking morbid and shit, but shit, you're dealing with Jane Foster like godhood and dealing with cancer and shit, and you're dealing with Gore the God Butcherer, literally going around killing gods that are mistreating their people and shit. So it definitely would have benefited for more of a mature tone, and then you could play with something like, did they? See, I'm so like blanked on this movie. Like, did they play with something with like, you know, Jane adopting this new godhood? Did like Gore find a problem with that? I honestly don't remember, but you know, they could have played with something with their more. I mean, if I don't remember, they didn't play with it enough, in my opinion, I guess. So you know, with her like adopting godhood and like, is she actually a god, or if her appropriating these powers, is she gonna step into godhood or some shit? She goes to fucking Valhalla. So I mean, yeah, so it's like that mature tone could have benefited from Thor 4 most definitely. But yeah, there's some, yeah, I was gonna say there's some heavier parts, but so skip like a minute, I would say like 2 minutes just to be safe. Because this is another rumor, but I don't. So this has to do with a character in Deadpool 3. I mean, it's not like a giant spoiler, but if you don't want to know really, because I'm saying this because like I don't know how people feel about like characters being revealed and shit. Like if they want to be surprised and stuff and whatnot. So I've been like, you know, thinking if it's like some plot shit, I'll give a fair warning, because I think in the past I kind of just like dove into it without really any second thought. But so yeah, skip like a minute or two ahead. I'll try to be quick with this. But so potential spoilers, character spoiler for Deadpool 3, starting now. Um, so reportedly Daphne Keene will return as X-23. So she was X-23 in the movie Logan, so basically like Old Man Logan, and she played the little girl, which her performance, I mean, she didn't like have cap. I was gonna say she didn't really have much, but she was very expressive and emotive, and she didn't have a lot of lines, but like I said, she, like being expressive and emotive made up for that. And it wasn't like anything like super crazy, but you definitely still, it was a strong performance with, you know, limited amount of lines. I really enjoyed her a lot, and also she's like around the, like she was young in that movie. So let me actually look her up now, because I definitely didn't say on the podcast because I wasn't making episodes and shit, but I want her to be like X-23 in the MCU type shit. She's 18. And so what? Logan came out maybe, go to our movies, we'll probably say Logan came out in 2017, so she's 18 now. 2017 was fuck. I gotta do math on the fly. I'm thinking, all right, let me not sound fucking stupid. It was 6 years ago. What? So she was 12. So she's like, basically what I'm trying to say is like she's aging with the role. Like right now, like 18, like she could be like X-23 grown up is what I'm saying. Like she was like a little girl in Logan, like, but she could be like the, you know, I don't know how old X-23 is, but she's like a young lady. So she is a young lady, so she could be a young lady. No shit. She could play a young lady because she is a young lady. Duh. But yeah, I just think that would work really well. And basically, she's like aging with the role is what I'm trying to say. That was a whole lot of yapping just to say that. But yeah, she's like aging with the role. I think she's really good. I haven't seen her anything besides Logan. So maybe yeah, I'll check out what she's in. So it seems like she's in the show. Um, yeah. Most recent thing, Anna. Yeah, so I think she's in the show His Dark Materials. I don't know. I'll try to check something out with her. Um, I would just really would like to see her in the MCU. So I hope that wasn't too long. Um, so on the next piece of news, Bob Iger says Disney's main goal is quality over quantity. Yeah, all right, Bob. Yeah, all right. I mean, I just threw that in there. Like, I don't really have like a strong opinion on that. And in my eyes, it kind of seems like that's what they want to do. Like, you got this overhaul with the Marvel shows and whatnot, how they're doing them. It seems like they're trying to focus on writers and shit. And I'm gonna say this is probably, I mean, main factor is them making mid quality and losing money, but maybe like they're really like seeing James Gunn kind of like try to have, obviously still super early, but try to have an emphasis on having stronger writers. So hey, competition breeds better results for the consumers. So if these kind of like are, if DC and Marvel kind of at odds, that's the word, but just competition, they're gonna try to one up each other, and that's just only gonna make us get better stuff because they're gonna try to up their quality, so not saying like this is a direct result of James Gunn in the DCU, but could be in the future. So yeah, he says quality over quantity, so we'll see. It seems like that's the direction they want to take, but remains to be seen. So last two bits of news before we'll get into the trailers. So we got the first look of Shadow the Hedgehog for Sonic 3. So I'm not really invested in. I like Sonic. He's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not like the biggest fan, but yeah, like I say, he's super cool. I was trying to. I was because I was thinking about like Sonic games that I played, and I really liked. What is it called? It was one where he's a fucking werewolf. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just hear me say Sonic as a werewolf. That was probably sounded wild, but werewolf. What the fuck? What game is that called? And I'm Sonic Weird. Oh, Sonic Unleashed. There we go. I had it on the Wii. I really liked that game a lot. It had like the classic like Sonic maps and shit. Not classic because it's more like side scroller. It was like these are 3D and shit, but it was like your run fast maps, and then you had when you turn into a werewolf, you would go into like more hack and slash combat and shit. It's pretty fun, pretty fun game. I like that. Oh, and then also, oh yeah, there was a Shadow game on like Xbox 360 and like maybe PS2 and shit where he had dual wield pistols, and it was really fun. Like you're in a apocalyptic city, maybe not apocalyptic, but it's being like taken over by monsters and shit. And you're just running and capping as Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow is my favorite Sonic character. I mean, I'm always drawn to like these fucking like edgy characters and shit. I really like Knuckles and Shadow. But anyways, back to the fucking movie series. I'm not too invested in these movies. The first one, I was like, oh, cool, they're making a Sonic movie, and then people seem to like it, the fans and shit. So I was like, okay, cool. They tease like Tails at the end of the first one. I was like, okay, the universe is expanding. Still didn't watch it, but I got my eye on it. And then Sonic 2, well after that movie came out, I saw like an ending scene, and this motherfucker was Super Sonic, and he was, the Super Saiyan form and shit. I don't know hell about Sonic, but it was like his Super Saiyan form when he's blonde and shit, like all blonde. And I seen that in the movie. I was like, whoa, they had Supersonic, bro. I was like, all right. And then I think tease Shadow at the end of Sonic 2. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna check out Sonic 2 before Sonic 3 releases. And then they showed some pic with Shadow. It was just like his like torso down. Like you really see like his gloves and like his shoes and shit. But yeah, I'm a super big fan of Shadow. So, and that's gonna be, I don't know if I'm not like, I think him and Sonic like beef at the start, and then like they eventually become friends or some shit. So yeah. I'm excited. I gotta watch the last two movies before Sonic 3. But yeah, that's on my radar for sure. I was gonna say I'm super excited. I'm excited, but wouldn't say that. But it's definitely on my radar. The last bit of news before we get into the trailers: Universal is Universal is working to replenish stock after 4K UHD copies of Oppenheimer sold out almost instantly. I put this in because I'm a big advocate for physical media, and everything seems to be digitalizing these days. And I think one of my first episodes, or one of the first two episodes, I talked about Best Buy was like stopping selling DVDs or some shit like that. So that's like, and with digital media, they could just take it away anytime they want. And so, for instance, this week Sony, this wasn't in my news, but it's something I just remembered seeing. Sony is like deleting a bunch of stuff from, I don't know what it was, a bunch of like video stuff. It's from Discovery something, and stuff that people bought will just no longer be available. Stuff they bought, not like rented, but bought, will just be poof gone. So it's like, hey man, if you really like something a lot, like a show that is on streaming, and it's see, that's the thing nowadays. Like some streaming shows don't even get like a DVD pack or some shit. I know like the bigger ones do, but so more or less shit is, if you like it, you try to get it physically. You watch it whatever you watch it on, and then you go out and buy your copy physically. It further helps your things, your whatever you like. So that is a way to also support it, and then you have it forever. No one can just come. I mean, unless they come to your house, they fucking take something off the streaming services, and they fucking track down everyone who bought a copy of the thing and come to your house and break your disc or some shit, or break your kneecaps. Hey, they got the hitters out there. They'll do some shit like that. But not for real though. Yeah. So yeah, buy what the shit you like in physical. Moral of the story: don't let physical die, or you will. On to the trailers. So we got Furiosa. So this one, so this is a Mad Max spinoff, and so a couple years ago, I think who's doing these movies. This was a terrible segue. Mad Max. I think not Christopher. What is his name? What is the director's name? Fudge. Miller. Something Miller, brother. Oh, yeah, it is George Miller. So he did 3000 Years of Longing. It's this movie with Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. And that movie's fine. What the fuck? He did Happy Feet? Am I tweaking right now? Is this actually a thing? Hold on. Wait, did he actually do Happy Feet? This can't be real. I think I low-key heard about this before, but I think it just, I guess, disappeared from my mind. Did he really do Happy Feet? He did do Happy Feet. Okay, that was interesting to find out. He did Happy Feet, did Mad Max Fury Road. Oh wait, did he do the originals? Oh shit, he did. I gotta check those out. I didn't know he did the originals, the original Mad Max movies. But he did Mad Max Fury Road. I've tried to watch that movie like 3-4 times, and I just fell asleep. And it's not because the movie's bad or anything like that. I'm really intrigued by it, and that's why I keep trying to watch it. But it's like that movie just got like some fucking sleepy juice in it for me or something. Because every time I try to watch that movie, I just end up falling asleep, or I end up something comes up. So I just have not finished that movie. I got pretty far, but I really like it a lot. The action's cool, like great. The performances are great. So anyways, back to Furiosa. This is a spinoff. So there's a character in Mad Max. I think like I would say the co-lead pretty much. She's in it. I haven't seen it all the way through, but she's in it pretty much as the main guy, Tom Hardy, aka Mad Max. So this is a spinoff, and this is a prequel. Where it's like 45 years after the collapse. That doesn't really matter to me. But it looks really good. The George Miller, I really like his style of directing. Like he has a very distinct style. It's like a lot of cool zooms and shit, which I really enjoy seeing. Seeing 3000 Years of Longing was visually great. All his movies like look visually great. Like there's some like very like wide sprawling shots and shit. Uh, Chris Hemsworth is in this. Um, his performance looks really fun and enjoyable to see. Usually seeing him as I didn't watch like Extraction or anything, and he was also in this movie. It was like with these drugs and they were testing him on people. Um, he was playing like this kind of like not villain, but kind of a little bit. More menacing type than his regular jovial Thor role, and he's just like playing a complete psychopath in this. So it just looks like he has a really fun time performance, and when the actors are having fun, that usually shows positively on screen. So that it just looks really fun. Anya Taylor-Joy, so she's the lead. She's playing Furiosa. She's a really good. I think I was talking about her last week. I think she's like potentially maybe a villain in the new Fantastic Four movie. She's a really good actress. I like her, and I need to like go and deliberately see more things that she's in because she's really good, and she's usually in really good things as well. So double whammy. But she looks great in this. There's a couple shoddy like CGI shots, but you know, I said a couple times. I'll keep saying if the visuals and shit and like writing and story, and if that shit's all up to snuff, performances, everything, I can forgive some shoddy CGI. And that's not even saying it's bad, but if it was like fucking downright abysmal, obviously I couldn't tell like if the writing was good and shit here, but I would forgive it. Be more forgiving. I wouldn't totally forgive it, but yeah, it looks great. Just looks like more Mad Max shit in that universe, which hey, I haven't finished the movie, but plan to. So yeah, I'll probably be finishing, not even probably, I'll be finishing the first one, and I want to go back and rewatch the um other ones, other Mad Max movies, because I didn't know George Miller did those as well. Um, Excuse me. So I recorded my episode on Saturday, but I got a little time on Sunday because whatever. But the new Godzilla X Kong new Empire trailer came out, and yeah, I want to talk about it because, but I watched it already. I'm just trying to pull it up, but this looks like actually a fun stupid time. I'm right off the bat, pink pink Godzilla. That is hard as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. He just, especially that shot when he's in the Arctic, and it just that pink just hits so hard off that like white background. I'm trying to find it in the trailer. What was super interesting, like right off the bat, was that monkey coming out in Egypt, and he had like armor on. So what is the deal with that? Who is these? Who there was a baby Kong and whatnot? Like what is going on? There's a lot in this trailer. But yeah, when Godzilla just breaks out the ice, that pink just hits hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of that. It's just something different. I like with literally the main topic for this week was Godzilla Minus One. So excited about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just really want to interject that in real quick. I thought I was gonna have to go, but I got a little bit more time. But it's I think I was saying it's cool seeing different interpretations of Godzilla, especially with Minus One. They just have something that's a little bit more. I don't want to say like better quality because that's subjective, but a little bit more story driven, character driven. I don't know what's the right word for it because the MonsterVerse Godzilla movies, like the one in this trailer, you know they try to have that human element, but it's just not that compelling, at least to me, and honestly to a lot of people. But I'm just there to see shit like this, like fucking Godzilla and King Kong running side by side, like this is the fucking Avengers movies or some shit. It looks fun. It's just stupid fun. And I just I get on my high horse sometimes and the Sony universe is stupid, the Venom movies is dumb and that they're bad and stuff. I stand by that. But I was like, people could have fun with that type of stuff and other movies as well, not just those. But um yeah, but Kong, it just this I don't know, it just we have I really didn't even the human element is like I said, really whatever. But you have what's interesting to me about that is I don't know who he is, honestly, what capacity is he plays in this movie. But what is his name though? He's from Legion. I don't know if anyone's seen that show. It's a FX show. It's like has to do with mutants, but he's in that. So I'm just excited to see where this goes, I guess. Next, we got the Boys trailer. Oh yeah, hold on? Did I mention when Furiosa was coming out? I don't think I did. Oh, so 2024 May 24th for Furiosa. So be on the lookout for that, because I will be. I don't know about you, but I will be. But anyways, on to the Boys season 4. So this was actually a surprise. I did not know that we were even close to anywhere on this trailer. So this was a pleasant surprise on a Saturday day. I mean, I think they came out on the Twitter account and said Friday that they were releasing it. But anyways, so we're just getting like just straight into it from season 3. It was very heavy, or not heavy, light on the story details. Like we don't really know what's going on. But so after like Gen V and stuff, there has to be some type of spillage story wise over the boy season 4. So definitely has to do something to do with that. We got the first look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Really like him as an actor. I don't know who he's playing yet, but he seems to be someone on like no seemingly the good side. Like he seemingly like has to do with this CIA or FBI or whoever the fuck is Billy the boys work for. He's asking Billy about like what's your team name or whatever, and he says that's fucking stupid. But yeah, so I was not expecting this, but we just got more looks at fucking Homelander's crazy ass. Like I said, it was pretty light on story details. We got Ryan. So there seems to be like a divide, like Starlight's. Oh yeah, what happened in season 4? Did she like leave? She left. So New York County Courthouse, they're having like a protest. Starlight supports women, and it's like Starlight fans versus like Homelander fans. They get into like this big fight. So yeah, I know she left the boys. So it's like, where is she standing publicly? Where is everyone else standing publicly? I know Homelander was like on trial for in Gen V for, or at least starting the trial for murdering that innocent man in at the end of season 3. And then we get like Ryan, aka Homelander's son. He like loses, like someone like kind of like attacks him, and like a random like civilian, and he like kind of just pushes him like slightly, but obviously he's Homelander's son, so he has goddamn super strength, and he makes the guy fly and splatters him on a building. So that's kind of wild. Yeah, we just there's a couple new characters we see, and I think her name's like Firecracker. People were simping on her on Twitter. I think we saw Victoria Newman's daughter. She has like this these tentacles coming out her mouth, like I don't know what to it reminds me of The Strain. I don't know if anyone's seen that show on FX. It's really good. Honestly, wasn't really gelling with the like last season, like last season or two. But it starts off really really strong. I still recommend it though. I really liked it a lot. It's like these vampires and shit. The guy from Ant-Man, Darren Cross, is in there. Sorry, I forgot his name, but he's a really good actor. I like him. But anyways, I think this is Victoria Newman's daughter. She has like these tentacles coming out of her mouth. She's attacking somebody. Then we got a new Black Noir. Yeah. So if you don't, what happened to him last season? We got a new one. So who's under that mask? You know, is it are they going the comic route? I won't spoil the comic. I mean, people don't really like it, but just in case they do go the comic route, I won't spoil it. But are they going the comic route with Black Noir or not? I mean, a lot of people seem to be against that. The way it was handled in the comics, I didn't read them all the way through, but kind of got like the spark notes. So maybe I don't have the right authority to be speaking on this, but I feel like I don't know if people really liked it in the comics, but if people weren't on board or thought it was a stupid like thing, they could definitely, I can feel them handling it in a better way in the show. That is seemingly, because I haven't read it, more compelling. I can definitely see something really interesting dealing with that if they do go that route with Noir this time around. So yeah, The Boys in season 4, super excited about that. So they said that this season of The Boys is gonna like bleed into. So they said Gen V season 1 is gonna bleed into The Boys season 4, which is this season, and then The Boys season 4 is gonna bleed into Gen V season 2, and then back like that. again. So yeah, we will super excited about that. So we will see more on the boys. The next trailer is the Fallout show trailer. So Fallout, if you're not familiar with it, it's a video game made by Bethesda. Bethesda recently got bought by Microsoft, unfortunately. So we're not we're not getting Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation, which is fine. I think by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I'll have a PC by then. So that's fine. But so we have the Fallout. If you don't know what Fallout is, it's a nuclear war happens, and then these this company built these shelters, these Fallout shelters, these vaults as they call it, I think. And I'm not super well versed in Fallout. I played a little New Vegas, but I was kind of like new to RPGs and shit, and I just was kind of lost in that game, and so I didn't really get very far. I kept trying to like go to, I think, literally New Vegas or some shit, and there's like a death claw on like the path, and I just kept getting fucked by the death claw. I just honestly really didn't know what to do, so I like dropped it, and then I picked up Fallout 4 on PlayStation on PS4, and I really liked that. I beat it and everything, and it really introduced me to the Fallout 4 series. But I guess Fallout 4, considering to like the core fans, isn't that great. But I liked it for the most part. The story was overall fine. I think people's main complaint was like some of like the dialogue and the dialogue, and I guess I can get behind that. I don't really remember a whole lot. My brother really likes that game, and I say that because he's not really into RPGs and shit, but he really likes Fallout. I don't know if it's just the verse or what. Because I tried to get him to play Skyrim, and he wasn't really. I don't think he was really vibing with that. Maybe because like Fallout has like guns and shit, so I don't know. He's a meathead. Not really, but fuck. If he listens to this and he be talking shit, yeah. What are you gonna do about it? If you do hear this, what are you gonna do? You can see me, bozo. Anyways, he probably won't listen to this. I'm just talking to myself. But yeah, so it's they. God damn, I was explaining Fallout. I don't know where I got sidetracked or how long it was, but it's late. um, Bro, I might start recording these late because I'm kind of having fun. I mean, I have fun regardless, but I feel a little bit more relaxed and shit. I think I was explaining Fallout. I think, yeah, it's like so a bunch of nukes get dropped, and they take cover, and they're in the vaults for a very, I don't know how long it is, but they're there for a long time, and long enough for the outside world to develop and mutate, and monsters fucking big crabs and giant death claw monsters and ghouls and zombies and fucking what are super mutants and shit like that. And then you got the Brotherhood of Steel, which is like these mech fucking guys and shit. So the world like develops a lot while they're in there. I'm not specifically privy on the time frame, but they're in there for a minute. And so this show is being developed by Jonathan Nolan. He's Christopher Nolan's brother, so the Dark Knight, Oppenheimer and stuff. And I think Jonathan Nolan helped Christopher Nolan write a lot of that stuff. He's wrote like I think Westworld and some other stuff. So it seems that he has like a strong like creative vision and shit. So this show looks very good, but also the Halo show looked good. And if you don't know, the Halo show is like dog shit, I guess, to Halo fans. I didn't watch the shit, but it just is a stain on the lore and shit like that. I'm not sure. But point being, just because it looks great, it just looks like the visuals look great, the sets look cool, the costumes look cool, the creatures look cool. There's some shoddy CGI, but whatever. As long as the writing's fine and shit. And then I saw some people on Twitter complaining like, oh, like because this is set off after Fallout 4, and I guess Fallout's like aesthetic, like game aesthetic, changed after Fallout 4 or some shit. I don't know, brother. So some people some people have like a problem with Todd Howard, don't like his directing or some shit. I don't know, but to me it looks good. Like Walter Goggins, I think is his name. I'm not like too familiar on him. I know he's been in some good things though that I've seen. He plays like this ghoul. We saw like a little bit of like some flashback before he got all ghoulish and shit from the radiation and whatnot. Um, so as long as the writing's good and stuff, I'm on board. I mean, I'm on board. I'll check out the first couple or whatever, and maybe watch the whole thing and give it a fair shake. I'll give it a fair shake, but I mean, like, watch it all the way through, not just like a couple episodes, um, to see what it's hitting for. And if I like it enough, I'll review it. Or if it's abysmal, funnily abysmal, then I will review it. But if it's just like kind of middling, I'll just leave it to my weekly watch list or some shit. That kind of sounded like that. Anything on my weekly watch list is mid, but that's not necessarily the case. I got distracted a lot, so I don't know if me talking about the Fallout trailer even was coherent. Not distracted. I got interrupted a lot. But on the last trailer, before we get into some gaming news and the main topic, I'm really tired. We're at an hour right now, hour 7. So let me try. I'm gonna kind of get through this because I really want to talk about Godzilla and not be fucking dead tired. So we have this movie. I'm gonna say original movie, but that probably was gonna be a stupid statement. It's not like at least to my knowledge, not like it's not an IP. It's not a fucking like superhero movie or anything. It's a regular movie, guys. It's a regular movie, not some fucking nerd shit. Let me stop like crushing this can in my hand. I don't know if that was coming up on the mic, but it's called The Book of Clarence. So the cast was really stood out to me first for me to check out the trailer. So this is probably not everyone, but starring Lakeith Stanfield, Omar Sy, Anna Diop, R.J. Seiler, David Oyelowo, Alfre Woodard, Caleb McCulkin, James McAvoy, and Benedict Cumberbatch. So let me give you the shakedown on this movie. So it's basically Lakeith Stanfield's character. This is, sorry about my histories, after Christ, before Christ. Anyways, it's like the time of Jesus. I sound probably stupid as hell. Sorry. I'm not a history buff. Sorry. It's late. But he basically is in that time period, and it's the time period where Jesus is going around performing miracles and shit. And he basically sees the opportunity to fraud a bunch of people and copy Jesus and act like he's performing miracles. And he gets caught up by James McAvoy's character. So, and he's like this. James McAvoy's like this. I didn't see Benedict Cumberbatch in this trailer, or a couple other people who I would like to see how they fit in. But anyways, he gets captured and put on trial by James McAvoy and the Romans. And he's convicted, and so it seems from the trailer, didn't like explicitly say it, but I think he's like, his punishment, he has to fight in an arena or like a fight to the death, because that's what it seemed like was happening. But it just has a really good cast, and I like I said, I don't know who's actually. Let me see who's directing this, because also it had like a distinct style too. I really like the visuals on it. What I say was called The Book of Clarence. I really like the visual style on it. Direct the bullets. Hold on. It says The Bullets. Is this his name? Okay, this is his stage name. I thought this was like a group. So James Samuel, also known by his stage name The Bullets, is a British songwriter, music producer, and filmmaker. Okay, so that's cool. He got a deep bag. Oh, what movies has he done? I've seen this guy. Have I seen him before somewhere? I don't know. It doesn't say he's an actor, so maybe I just seen his face somewhere. I don't know. It looks super familiar. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to like piece if like I've seen him in something, but it doesn't really say he's in any movies. But it just has the premise itself is interesting. Really good cast. I want to see. Like I don't think I said it. Maybe I said it. I want to see how Caleb McCulkin. That's the Stranger Things kid, right? I think he's a really cool, really good actor. I haven't seen him in a whole lot of things. I want to check out. I said this a couple times, but it's true. I want to check out to see what he's in, more stuff he's in, because I really enjoy watching him. I want to see how Benedict Cumberbatch plays in the part. He's probably a Roman. So yeah, that just looks interesting. So this in theaters January 12th, so next month. So yeah, I'll probably honestly be reviewing this one. So what I want to do is though is I just gotta take some time out and I just want to get a calendar on my phone or whatever. I would want to write it down, but just list out, just go through the movies of the year. And honestly, I'll probably do this for like this next coming up 2024. Is just go out and list all the movies I want to see for the year, and probably there'll be some ones that I don't end up seeing, or some ones that come up that I do end up seeing. But the ones that are slated to release, kind of like just map them down, and so I have those weeks planned out. And then for the other weeks, I can just either gather topics or assign topics for those empty weeks, just so it's a little bit more formulaic and I have more time if I do. Because there's like a couple times where I didn't watch like a movie that week or reviewing a game. So I'm just gonna go to the gaming news. CD Projekt Red is releasing another Cyberpunk update, so 2.1. So I think this is gonna be the last update. I think they said 2.0 was the last update too, but it wasn't. So the features that maybe these aren't all the features, but the ones that are listed by Synth Potato on Twitter is they're getting a fully functioning metro system. So this was promised when the game was like first releasing. So you'd be able to take the train. People were fucking clamoring about this shit, but why the fuck would I want to sit on a train? I like aesthetically maybe one time, but why the fuck would I want to sit on a train when I could drive there with fast travel? I mean, if you want to see the city that bad, sure, but I mean, cool. I mean, unless there's like, you can like rob people on the train or some shit, or like, I don't know, like it doesn't really make cool. It's a cool addition, whatever. New hangouts with romance characters, so I guess you could go on dates and shit. I guess cool. Nico, let's go bowling. Is that his name? GTA 4. Mobile radio, listen to anywhere, so that's cool. You can like, it's a fucking iPod. That's cool. 5 new bikes, new Porsche cars. The Porsche car is kind of ass, not gonna lie to you. Haven't seen the bikes. So, new bike gameplay, wheelies, flips. That's really lacking. Flips and wheelies. Knife throwing from your bike. So there's also replayable races and new rewards. Gangs will now react to your choices and send hit squads after you if you go against them in gigs and quests. That's super cool. They really updated like the AI. Like they got a new police system and shit. Like it's like a more GTA 5-star one level and shit. Redone and finished some previously unfinished roads and highways that lacked NPCs. So that's cool. Expanding, some of the area. Car chases have been worked into old gigs to make them far more engaging. That's cool. New accessibility settings and HUD customization. Cool. And then this drops December 5th. So I think that's Tuesday. So damn. So this new update dropped and a GTA trailer. That's cool. So right now I'm so close to finishing. I thought I was gonna be able to work on it tonight, but I just had a long day and I'm doing this. I said that hella like passive aggressive. It sounded hella aggressive when I'm doing this. But nah, I thought I was gonna have some time to finish it, but I will finish in the morning. But I'm making a Cyberpunk Edge Runners video. I watched that for the first time and I really enjoyed it. So be on the lookout if you're fucking listening to this. Be on the lookout for that on my main channel at DS2 Smooth, and then on my second channel at DS2 Smooth Extended, I'm gonna be playing through Cyberpunk and doing Phantom Liberty. Because I've restarted like Cyberpunk like 3-4 times. So I haven't beat it officially. And then I also haven't played Phantom Liberty, but I just knew all that. I just held off on finishing that game because I just knew it was gonna get updates and be better. And I just was like, yeah, I'm just trying to experience the story at its fullest. And so I just been playing here and there. Got like getting like the last one like run I did like a year ago. I got like probably like update like 1.7 or some shit. 1.5, I don't know. I got pretty far and then I just fell off and then I restarted more recently and I didn't get super far. I was playing for fun, but then I was like, okay, let me get Phantom Liberty DLC and let me make gameplay on my second channel. But like but I haven't done it yet. So as I've been playing Spider-Man, I've just been dragging my feet uploading those, and because I did fuck up. So it was my first time like really recording gameplay, and the previous videos are fine. It's just I had the last like couple episodes, so they're like an hour. Longest one's like 2 hours, hour and a half. It's just playthrough. Like really no edits or anything, just commentary and shit. But the last I had a long session and just recording gameplay the first time. I wasn't like mindful of this, but I was getting tired, and I wasn't drinking energy drinks or anything like that. So I just got really quiet and like I started to like slouch and shit. And so I just reverted back to me casually playing like without, recording and shit and just on my own. So I mean I would like speak and shit, but I was like so tired, I was quiet and I was slouched and shit, so I was farther away from my mic and not as close as I should have been. So like the audio is just super low and I just don't have a lot of energy. And it's like the last like main parts of the game. And so I just like kind of fucked up the that, and I was like thinking of just posting the gameplay, but it's just like gonna be like pretty much silent gameplay. So who really wants to watch that? And I was thinking doing like a voiceover thing. I was like, oh, whatever. So I think I just decided. And no one was really watching them anyway. Maybe someone's gonna. Maybe I'll like go. Oh, maybe I'll redo it on New Game Plus like later down the line once I get like more subscribers and shit. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna say fuck it and just abandon that project. And I think I got to like, so there's like 14 episodes that are recorded, and I think right now I'm on episode like 10 that I posted, and I think the audio starts fucking up like episode 12, maybe 13, 14. I think 11 and 12 are fine, but I think, or maybe it's just 14. Maybe I think it's 1.5, so it's like half of 13 and full of 14. So maybe I'll just upload 11 and 12 and but then I don't know. I just honestly just say fucking just move to Cyberpunk, and that's what I'll do. Just call it just take the L, honestly. But yeah, super excited for the Cyberpunk update. Last bit of gaming news before we get into the main topic. So EA has a new patent that enables players to make their in-game characters speak with their own voices through player input speech. The technique replicates their voice. So this was actually like some really interesting news that could be the future of single player games and whatnot. So they what I just fucking said, they develop a patent for this. And so I'm not sure really how like patents work and shit. So developing a patent I think assuming they're in very early stages of whatever they're doing. So this is well off. But I mean, I was gonna go into like the logistics and shit, how it works. But it's an article on. Let me see. What is this? Very Alley Gaming. So if you wanna, the article is called EA working on player voice characters in games. So if you want to go check that out and read like the logistics on how that works, then yeah. But I mean, yeah, this could really take single player games to a whole new level. Though, so the thing is like, I mean, honestly, I really don't care about hearing my voice which would be cool. But like, what would really like sell me on it if you would really have to tailor the game for them to react to your voice, because they were also saying like the article, like they eventually, maybe eventually, or they were working on it to like pick up the subtleties in your voice, like your emotion and like your expressiveness and shit. So if that if you say some shit like jokingly, for example, like jokingly saying "fuck you, bitch," like you saying to your friend, but you put some infinite "fuck you, bitch," like you're saying with some aggression, like you're saying that to your enemy. You're not saying that to your friend. So it's like if they can. If they can pick up on that, that's what will really like sell me like, okay. Or just if is your voice, have it affect the story, not in the intricate ways I said, but more branching storylines and shit, and not just like hearing it would have to be that way, right? Because I was gonna say hearing set dialogue, but if you're saying it, then I don't know, you would just. I guess my thing was it's like it's gonna be set responses from whatever NPC you're talking to, so it's like not gonna be responding to you unless you get some like AI shit in there. And I saw like a game, I think Moist Critical is playing this like AI game. It was like he was talking in the AI character. It had like only like a variety of things he could say, but it was like kind of responding to him and shit. So this is well ways off, but very interesting, nonetheless. Very interesting. But now we're on the main topic of this week: Godzilla Minus One. So this was let me pull some stuff up before I really get into it. So this is a Godzilla movie by Toho, and Toho is like the original makers of like Godzilla and everything. I don't know if the original, but they handle like, those Godzilla movies where you see them in like in like looks like just a bunch of guys in suits fighting each other. So they're like of the original Godzilla, and not to say they're all those movies are fucking, not even saying they're ass, but they're very acquired taste that I just don't think I'm there yet to appreciate. But they also, so this is by like them, because you also got like the Godzilla versus Kong movies where in the King of Monsters, everything that they're doing, but that's like the Western version. And so I don't know if so Toho released, I don't know if it was their last movie, but they released Shin Godzilla, and I don't know if this is exactly from the same people, but Shin Godzilla was really good. So let me explain my relationship with Godzilla. I'm not like the hugest, I'm a pretty big fan. But like I don't know every little thing about Godzilla and shit and all the other movies. I just like really like the idea of Godzilla. Just he's a big ass monster with atomic nuke breath, and he fights other monsters. Like, come on, bro. It speaks to the inner child in me. So it's just not what's not to like about Godzilla. And I like how he's used most times, like either like he's like a big reset button. I'll get into this when I get into the movie, but either like he's a big reset button, like if shit comes too out of balance, like the humans is fucking up shit, or if there's another monster that's not supposed to be there, he'll come up and fuck everything up and kill the monster, or get whatever his human contraption is fucking the world up, and he just goes there and fucks off. Or he's just a big asshole who just shows up and stomps through the city with no rhyme or reason just to be a dick. So yeah, so I like both ways how he's portrayed. But what I was saying though, hold on, let me see if Godzilla Minus One and Shin have the same creators. All right, so I don't know their link. I mean, I know they're not connected like continuity wise, but I was just trying to see if like the same people worked on it. But honestly, I'm very tired. I really don't care. So I'll probably care at a later date. So Godzilla Minus One, it had a budget of 15 million, which is fucking, I'm trying to find the right verbiage from it, astronomically low. For a movie that looks this great and everything. But also let me speak to that. So, and it's at a worldwide box office at 27 million. So if you're doing standard movie math, 15 million budget, got to double it to account for marketing, 30 million plus to be in the green. So they're well on their way to track that. So this movie is one of those ones before I get into it, I was talking about Shin Godzilla. I really like Shin Godzilla a lot. The character element, the human drama element of the Godzilla movies. And I haven't seen all the Japanese ones, and maybe I do need to go see it. For at least the American one, the human component is not great. It usually is not what I'm there for. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm there for Godzilla, but it's just not compelling at all. Like, I'm really just twiddling my thumbs until Godzilla comes through, stomping, fucking knocking shit over and atomic breathing motherfuckers. So, but with Shin Godzilla, I was really connected with the human narrative, and then the monster shit was just out of the park. Like, it was great. And so it was just like all came together really well for a really enjoyable experience. So if you haven't seen Shin Godzilla, definitely go watch that. But it was like Shin Godzilla is more like a government procedural and shit, and I don't really like those a lot. And I think was why I was kind of like checked out with Oppenheimer. Not that I thought it was great, but it just didn't hit as hard because I just really don't like government procedurals and shit. Just niggas talk about government shit and whatnot. It's just kind of boring to me. But hey, if you like it, you like it. But it's just not my cup of tea. and so that's what kind of Shin Godzilla was. But then like the themes and like the allegories and shit and the stuff, the metaphors and whatnot is what really like saved it, and not saved it because it was compelling and the characters and it was great performances. But it was just those themes and shit really just hammered it home for me and just made it connect more on that, government speak and shit. But with Godzilla Minus One, it's a very much more human story and more personal story. So I'll just give a quick breakdown of the story real quick. Post-war Japan, from World War II, atomic bombs and shit. Not to write it off, it's not like I was just saying and shit, but it's serious stuff. But post-war Japan, and then it follows this fighter pilot, let me rephrase, kamikaze pilot that maybe didn't sacrifice his life as a kamikaze pilot should have done, and it just follows him, and it's really a personal story about his PTSD from the war, survivor's guilt, and you get this nice personal story with fucking Godzilla thrown in, and Godzilla brings the shit. I'm gonna start really getting like giddy and perking up because I fucking love this movie. I have my problems with it, but for the most part, I loved it. Because I really loved Shin Godzilla, as I said, and people were saying it was better than Shin and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, maybe. And it was, and I'm glad. So I saw this Friday, and I wanted to see it again, but I just did not have time this weekend. I'll probably see it again for sure before it leaves theaters. But I'm really glad I let this movie sit and stew in my mind for a while. Because I didn't know if I liked Shin better or this one, because although I did like the human element more in this one, but then I was in my mind, because I haven't seen it. It's probably been like a year and some change since I seen Shin Godzilla. But from my memory, I like the monster action more in Shin. But then with further thinking in the movies, Minus One sitting on my brain for a little bit, I really like I won't spoil any Shin Godzilla action, so because there's some really cool things that they do with. Actually, I'm gonna spoil this one little part. So at one point in Shin Godzilla, he's firing so Godzilla has atomic breath, right? It's like this nuclear fire breath, and it's usually like this blue beam, and depending, it's like maybe more fire flamethrowery or a blue like laser beam. But the way that they portrayed it in Shin Godzilla was so fucking beautiful. The music behind it, this opera music and shit. Like, so first Godzilla, he starts off with this black smoke, right? And he's breathing this black smoke. And I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck? That's not his atomic breath. And then like he ignites it with like, the spark comes from his mouth, and then it turns into like, orange, like regular fire shit. And it's like, okay, whoa. It's like, so that's still not his atomic breath, but that's pretty cool. And then like he hyper focuses the fire and refines it into this tiny laser beam, and it like just cuts through the buildings like butter. And then they do something even fucking cooler with it. I'm not even gonna even say like go watch Shin Godzilla, but moral of the saying is I was like, there's no way that they can just make me feel like that and just have a one up that moment. But with his like atomic, we're just like in general, but they do some stuff with with Godzilla's atomic breath in Minus One that is fucking great. The visuals in this movie are amazing. I'm kind of just like all over the place because I'm just gushing and raving about this movie, but it's just the visuals of Godzilla is great. But let me rewind a little bit. Let me go back to like the story. Fuck. I didn't even say this will be spoiler free. And then I'll get into spoilers after my rating and stuff, but this will be spoiler free. Just the story, I think, just hit really hard. The performances were great. The main actor, his struggle with just like PTSD. What was I saying? Yeah, so like the character, he would have like these little, not even little, he would have these like breakdowns, and I'll get to it more in spoilers, but it just was really convincing and it just hit really hard. and just the way his storyline like gets intertwined with Godzilla's just I loved it. It was so poetic. Um just this whole movie's great. And just like the way that Japan is dealing with like this post-war like worn torn land, and just the way it develops over time, and the way the community develops and everything. It's just so great. I liked like I said, all the performances, the main guy and everything. um I really like how this movie was broken up into. I think it really was. I think it was really great, just like the pacing and just like the way things like developed, especially like Godzilla's slow development, and like how like kind of like parallels with the main character's development. It's just really good. I was gonna say something. I think my only like let me talk about the CGI really quick. The CGI was great. So it has a $15 million budget. And so a lot of people, because I sung this narrative too. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, $15 million budget, and they're making something that looks this great. Like visually, the CGI is like great. Godzilla looks amazing. I'm like, that is abysmally low. And that's because Japan has terrible fucking working conditions. I don't think I don't want to like speak on it fully because I'm not sure, but I read a couple things that like working conditions over there have been bad for a while. And it just, because I want to say like they don't have any unions, but I read somewhere they did, but most people aren't covered, something like that. So they just have terrible working conditions, like ungodly hours, like crazy overtime and everything. So it's just not looking gravy over there. So it having a lower budget and looking like this is kind of maybe a negative. We don't know what the crunch was looking like or whatever. So yeah, this movie is definitely gonna make its money back and then some. But it's just like, bro, I just want people to get paid properly. Like, fuck, bro. It's just like, why is that like is that what like capitalism like fuels this shit, like makes it so that this shit's possible? Because it's like, I don't know, it's like watching this shit with like a guilty conscience kind of, and which is like weird to say. And it's just so weird, like fucking weird tangent, but because it's wrong, but it's like most shit we consume, like the clothes on my fucking body were probably made in a sweatshop somewhere. Like, where do you draw the line? Does that like speak to my ethics as a person? Like, because I don't support fucking kids working in sweatshops, but my fucking phone was probably made for a kid mining fucking minerals. Like, I don't know. Because it's like you have people boycott what I'm trying to say is just like, where do people draw the line? Like, you have people boycott, like, the union, like when the actor strike and shit was going on, and obviously like this is America and shit, but it's just like, why don't I really hear any people speaking about like Japan's unions or their terrible working conditions? Like, it's still movies and shit. I don't know. It just the selective outrage is interesting, and not even like saying like they shouldn't be outraged about what they shouldn't, but just like how people pick and choose to like talk about certain things, or it's just interesting. And it's just like, as I'm like really, because like I really don't that's not true, because I was gonna say I really don't have any strong opinions on that stuff, but I do. But it's just, because I'm very like to myself person, and I just don't talk to a lot of people. So it's just like, I don't know really what I was going with that. But back to the movie. I did have my problems with it. I felt like in some points, that was a weird ass tangent. But in some points it was a little predictable, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I just felt like that the overall like just writing and like just character moments in the movie just were really strong. So like when that like telegraphed like predictable moment did come, it just felt kind of just really out of place from all like the previously strong writing and shit. But I mean, it wasn't terrible or anything, but it's just like kind of like, I know exactly what's about to happen here. And then also I think the third act, the way that I don't think there's really any like super, I want to see it again, but there was, from my memory, there wasn't really anything. There was tense moments, don't get me wrong, but in Godzilla's previous like appearances, there was always like a distinct like shot that like kind of or just the setting he was in. It just what am I trying to say? It set up some great looking shots and shit, or like he did like a really impactful thing. It was like, okay, that was the staple of that encounter right there, or that was that cinematic shot was the money shot of that encounter. I don't think that like really, and all those previous encounters had something like that. I'll get to it in spoilers and shit, but I don't think like that last. I could be wrong, and this could be like me blanking on the third act and shit. But I don't really think the third act had like a iconic moment like that. But it was definitely tense though. I liked like the stakes and shit, but it just felt like not as visually like striking as the previous shit. Which, and it's not the biggest deal because I did like the way shit happened and whatnot. But shit, let me the score, brother. That score was a banger right there. Let me honestly just go to like the cast list because I honestly haven't really said anyone's names or anything, and I really liked another problem I had. I think it's like the last problem, and then after I like talk about the cast and shit and give my rating, I'm gonna go into spoilers. But actually, let me check my notes real quick because I did take notes, and the movies I've been reviewing lately. I haven't done it a whole bunch, but I have not been taking notes. I kind of just been going off the head top, but I did take notes. Let me see if my notes, if there's anything not spoilery. I said compelling human narrative. It had very natural development. I really like that. It just yeah. I didn't really like touch fully on that, but that human element. I said I had some nice parallels with Godzilla, but on its own, it just had some very very natural development. I just really liked it a lot. Okay. Another thing, each like Godzilla encounter, I like how it like escalates. Like first it's like this small encounter, then it's this bigger encounter, then it's an even bigger encounter. It just like the stakes just keep getting raised with Godzilla, and I really like that a lot. Let me see. I said I like how the main guy and Godzilla are linked. Godzilla, okay. Godzilla, he's just kind of is that a spoiler? He's just kind of ass. So I was saying earlier, there's two types of Godzilla. Like there's one like the protector one, like he's restoring balance, or he's fighting a fucking monster or whatnot. Or there's just asshole Godzilla just tumbling through the city, and he's the asshole Godzilla, and I just loved it. He just was causing havoc just to cause havoc. He's being a little bitch. Oh yeah, so they come up. I won't spoil what it is, but they come up with like a plan to beat Godzilla at the end of the movie, and I thought it was like really unique. I don't really think I've seen anything like that, like dealing with like a big monster or something like that. And it was like scientifically, it felt, I don't know the logistics, but it was explained like scientifically in a way that I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then also it was just like unique idea. Honestly, I really liked it a lot. Godzilla, he like takes like battle damage, and like it's shown like you can see the scar. I don't know if there's other scar, but there's a particular scar that's like stays with them throughout the movie. It was cool, like just seeing that consistency. Yeah, so like I was saying, the ending, like all the themes and shit came together, but it just didn't have that same like just spectacle and awe as the other encounters. Like all the emotional stakes were there and everything. I liked it a lot, but and then yeah, it wasn't because, and let me reiterate, it wasn't because the ending. I said I had some problems with the third act, but it wasn't because it was bad, but it just, it wasn't as spectacular as the rest. But yeah, I think there's the rest of my notes is pretty spoilery. Is there anything else I want to say about this movie? Not spoilers. The director, he said he's interested in making a Star Wars movie, so that's pretty cool. I definitely would see him. I would want to see him on something with Star Wars. Like I wish they kind of would do some more like spin-off shit, not in way like kind of what they did with not Tales of the Jedi. What was the other one? There was just like unique stories. What was it called? I don't know. Star Wars what? No, I was gonna say Destinies. Star Wars Visions, I think that's what it's called. Like if they, and I don't want to see him do something anime. I want to see him do something like live action. So I wish they would do something like Star Wars Visions, where they kind of like, I think I was talking like last week. I'm just tired of the Skywalker shit, bro. Let's go far on the right in the either direction. But even if it's not, I want to see him do something Star Wars. But I would have to rate Shin though. This is the type of movie that now that I expecting what I'm expecting, and I know that those that last act isn't as visually striking as the others, and like, some of like, the performances. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. My last problem. So there's a couple characters that like were kind of rambunctious and over the top, and I would kind of like relate them to kind of like anime characters a little bit, just the way they act. And that rambunctiousness definitely added to the story, like some value to the story at some parts. But also, I thought it was like kind of, it was interjected in some points that didn't really need it. I could be kind of wrong about that, but that's what I kind of felt. The characters that were like acting like this, I didn't dislike them. I liked them as characters, and I really thought they brought good vibes to the story, and like, helped the narrative and whatnot. It's just the kind of, some of their comedy moments kind of overdid it a bit, but not a super big complaint. But what was I saying before that? Oh, I think I was talking about the rating. I think I'm at like this is one of, I was saying, this is one of those movies that like on a rewatch, knowing everything going into it, the rating's only gonna go higher for me. So I would say like I'm at a solid like 8 right now, and I definitely could see this movie going to like a 9 for sure, maybe even a 9.5 depending on how much I like it. So I could definitely see this going to a 9 but for right now we're at an 8er. But yeah, let's get into some spoilers. Okay, these will okay. Yeah, we have quite a bit of spoilers to talk about. So I'm just gonna be hopping around. Honestly, I love Godzilla's first atomic breath. I'm not like sure how it happens, but they end up fucking up Godzilla with a big ass ship, and he like goes underwater, right? And then he's underwater, and you see the water like turning blue because he's charging up his atomic breath, and his skills turn blue on his back. So you see it powering up, and so it's like, damn, well, how is this gonna look in it? And I really like this a lot because they kind of did something like this in Godzilla versus Kong, where Godzilla was under the boat and he shot his atomic breath from under the boat and like destroyed it. Like, I hope that wasn't confusing. Like, he was underwater under the boat and he shot it up and destroyed it. And the way they did that was like kind of like just a beam coming up and then like kind of destroying it, and it looks fine. But the way they portrayed it in this, bro, it like you see him charge up, and there's just like this like flash, bro. It's like a fucking lightning strike, and that it just obliterates the boat, bro. It is just so fucking fire. I'm just keeping on the topic of his atomic breath. His second one, oh man, bro, it's like so when he did it the first time, you don't see this because he's underwater, but when he fires up the second time, his like dorsal fins, when it's charging up, it's like it's like this wind up. It starts from the bottom of his tail and it goes up all the way up to like his head type shit, and it like each is like and each like tail is like fin is protruding like as it's charging. It's so cool. And then like they all stick up, and then when he's about to fire his breath, they all just slam back down. And just like, and when he fires his breath, when he's like standing and shit, it's just like this quick, like just like a quick ass shot, and it's just bro, it hits every time they do it. And I just love the way they portrayed his atomic breath in this, and it's so powerful. It sears his like face a little bit, and so he just can't shoot one back to back. He has to like heal a little bit before he shoots the next one. And they play with that some like stakes at the end where, he takes a shot and like he's recharging and shit, and they only got a certain amount of time to do whatever they got to do and shit. But oh my god, bro, just I love the way they portrayed Godzilla. His first encounter, the way you see him as like, he's not even like that big yet. He's like, dinosaur size a little bit, and he's just kind of still fucking menacing and everything. And I just love the progression of him throughout the story, where he just gets bigger and bigger every time you see him. Oh my gosh, it's so great. I'm just like really like gushing over this movie because I liked it a lot. Let me see. Oh yeah, Godzilla had some really strong regeneration in this movie. I don't know if that's usually a power of his. But like, I mean, like some instantaneous regeneration. Like at one point, he gets a bomb lodged in his mouth, and it gets shot and it explodes, and it like blows off like part of his mouth. And this is where I was saying the battle damage came in. But it blows up part of his mouth, and he just like kind of instantly heals it up. I was like, damn. But then like he has like this like kind of fleshy. It's not super noticeable, but he has like this fleshy mark where that happened at. So he's like didn't fully heal type shit. But yeah, that was interesting to see though. I didn't really know that like Godzilla had a strong healing ability like that, or if this is maybe just a new thing. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, like how we first saw him and like how he gets bigger and bigger. That was cool. And so I really like the main characters. Just so the main character, when he first encounters Godzilla, he has pretty much, because Godzilla is relatively small compared to like how big he gets. He's relatively small, and I'm pretty sure. So the main guy, he's a kamikaze pilot, and so he lies and said something's fucked up with his ship, and so he goes back to this like this refueling station, and they're like, there's like something's wrong with your ship, and the guys there are like kind of, they're like, oh yeah, we checked your ship, there's nothing wrong with it. He's like, so what are you trying to say? And what was really interesting about this movie is like how strongly that they treated like the people who, I guess that would make sense, but because so basically he doesn't, he lies about his shit being fucked up because he doesn't want to die, right? But like he's treated like scum. Like the people in his village, when he first gets back, they treat him like scum. Like, bro, you did not put your life on your line for your country, bro. You were not standing on business. And so they was like, nigga, you're worthless, boy. So that was just interesting to see like how strongly they like felt towards that. And they eventually do come around. That's why I really like it. But anyways, back to like the airstrip shit. Godzilla attacks, right? And so he's slaughtering all the airmen and shit. The main guy has an opportunity to shoot Godzilla right in his fucking jugular with like a 20 millimeter like airplane machine gun. So that bitch has got some fat bullets in it. So it's really ripping through shit. And like I said, Godzilla was relatively small at this point. So if he really just would have laid, and he was like, the way he was lined up at his throat type shit. So if he really just was really about his business and just let it loose, I honestly think he could have killed Godzilla right there. But he was just so scared and shit. And that like ties into his cowardice. And he didn't kill Godzilla, and he ends up like slaughtering like everyone there except like one guy. And from then on, so that happens, right? And the movie progresses, and like he goes back home. He's like, treated like shit by this lady in his village. But then, this is where I was saying like how I really like how the story just naturally progressed. He meets like this lady like is stealing some shit and like hands him the baby, and then like he's just holding the baby like, what the fuck, this lady just left. And so he's just like sitting waiting around. He's like finally gets something. He's like, damn, this lady's not coming back. He's like walks to an alley, and the lady's like, it just pops up, and he's like, bro, you were sitting there the whole time? She's like, yeah, I was waiting for you to move. It's like, obviously I just stole some shit. Like, why would I go out in public? She doesn't say this, but it's implied. Like, why would she go out in public? And so she was just waiting for him to like move. But then he was like, why would you just leave your baby and oh no, she like explains that like that's not her baby. She just found it like when the war was like the parents died and whatever. The mom's like, take care of my child before she died. And so she was like, he was like, why didn't you just leave it? You're obviously unfit to be a parent, because he was like homeless and shit. And she was like, so well, why didn't you leave the baby? And then she like realizes that, okay, this guy has a good heart. And she was like, she like follows him for a little bit, and she's like, you're not just gonna. No, so she's like, why didn't you leave the baby? And like he kind of is like silent, and she has this like wry little smile, and she's like bing bing bing, found my next like target. And it's like he like walks off a little bit, and she follows him, and then she's like, oh, you wouldn't leave us to like starve out here or whatever. And she just ends up like going home with him, and he ends up taking care of her and the baby, and like it just develops. Like some time pass, and like you just slowly see their village build up, and like because when you first get there it's like ruined, and then like some time pass, and they got like and they're like in tatters and shit. When we first see him, like that girl's homeless, like he's in his all dirty and shit, And then like time passes and you see she's in a little more appealing clothing, and like he's cleaned up a little bit too, and like their village is looking better, and like he gets a job in dealing with mines that are out in the ocean that are like were left there after the war, and they got to go destroy them because they're a hazard. And doing so, he's encountering Godzilla again, and basically throughout the whole story, just like through his cowardice the first time, he just has this inner link to with Godzilla the whole movie. And just while he's growing in his life, he's building his life, growing, getting better and everything, building his family, making friends, his village is building up, Japan is healing and everything. Godzilla is getting bigger throughout like all this that is happening. And it's just so cool to see like every time, you know, he comes. I'm trying to like remember the movie, but there's just multiple moments where the main character's like cowardice like was linked to, it was like the reason why he was like encountering Godzilla so much. And it felt like, you know, by the end of it, him making that sacrifice play, quote unquote, it was like really him atoning, you know, for, I mean, that's how it was set up, and like say it multiple times, it was him atoning, you know, for the what he, like how he let all those people die back then in the, on the air base. But it's just so great just how it just developed and everything like that. And so the parts I would say was like a little more telegraphed was when he was getting the ejector seat, or when he was getting the bomb fitted into his plane to, you know, be the one to kill Godzilla. It you could very clearly, it sets up to have an ejector seat so he can survive at the end. That was super telegraphed. Like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just felt like so predictable and, like I said, telegraphed compared to all like the natural and the way that the story was going. It just felt like super out of place type shit. And then the two characters that, like I said, were rambunctious. It was like the two fishermen guy, the guy that gave like the nicknames like to everyone, and then the kid, quote unquote. He was a grown ass man, but he called him kid. He I felt like they're a little kind of over the top sometimes, but then at times when they're over the top, it was like really fitting for the story. So it was just like, you know, it was more bad than, or it was more good than bad. So it wasn't even bad. It was just like a certain moment, like one or two moments. It wasn't even nothing like serious or nothing. But it was worth mentioning because I guess it's a tiny nitpick in a otherwise, you know, great movie. So I guess I try to. It was me. That's me finding something to complain about, because it's kind of a nothing complaint really in the grand scheme of things. But I really liked. I'm trying to like think of some more Godzilla moments. There's some really just great shots of him. I can't like remember. The only one I distinctly it was like I do remember. Like I was saying, like the two encounters. So let me go through those encounters, how they were like grandiose. So the first one, it's like a nighttime, and it's like I said, it's Godzilla. He's relatively small still, but there was just like the lighting and the way they used and like the shots. There was a really great shot of Godzilla's like when he was standing over the guy, and it was just so great. And then the second encounter, you obviously get, you know, with him in the second encounter is with when I said the mine got lodged in his mouth, and the guy shot it and it blew up. When they did that, was that during that? Maybe it wasn't during that, but maybe at some point, bro. You know, you get that one shot I said with Godzilla shooting the lightning from under the boat. I don't know which encounter was that. I don't know if that was the second encounter or not. I'm getting shit mixed up, but you know, you get that encounter. You get the boat one. That's a great shot, and then like when he's actually attacking the city, you get a great shot of him when he's shooting his atomic breath on land for the first time. It's a really great shot of you know, of him doing that, and then like after the, like, you know, after he shoots his breath and it's just the aftermath, there's just like lingering shot on him that's really cool. And then it's just like once you get to the last one, there's really nothing like that. No like really standout shots in my eyes or from my memory. But the stakes and shit really like what carried it and stuff. And then the action was still good in like how Godzilla was like swatting at the guy flying the plane and shit and stuff like that. And there's like the stakes of, you know, Godzilla firing his shot again. His atomic breath destroying, like, you know, some of the characters that we've been with through the story, and how it's just about to happen, and he makes the last ditch play and slams the into so he slams the ship into Godzilla's mouth and ejects and like detonates the bomb. And the way Godzilla dies is really interesting. So like he blows off Godzilla's head pretty much, and like pretty much like his mouth is his bottom half of his mouth the only thing that remains. And instead of just like, sinking into the water, he like crumbles up into like dust and like and like, yeah, like crumbles, and he sinks to the bottom. But there's a little teaser, because I said he has like strong regenerative abilities in this. He's just like this little like sack thing at this point, and it's just like sink to the bottom, and then you just see it like beating, and then the title card Godzilla Minus One comes up, and so that made me think like, damn, was it called Minus One because it was minus one Godzilla and there's another coming back type shit? I don't really know, but Shin Godzilla also ended on a cliffhanger, so this isn't. I think it's just like a fun little thing to do. Like Shin Godzilla, I like read up on it. It like ended with, because I forgot how Godzilla died in that, but his like little egg sac, he left like something back, but it wasn't. It was gonna be, there was gonna be like humanoid mutated like little Godzillas or some shit like that. It sounded like it sounds kind of ass, like just me saying it, but the way they explained it in like the YouTube video and shit sounded pretty interesting. It sounded pretty interesting and new for like Godzilla lore and whatnot. It was like this hive mind and some shit. I don't know. It sounded pretty cool. But so this ends like on a cliffhanger too, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna follow up on it. What else? Let me see my notes again. Oh yeah, I really like how, so the main guy I was talking about, like how he has some PTSD breakdowns. Those were really compelling. Like at some points, like he would like literally be like he would be questioning reality. Like, did I really survive? Like, is this real life? Like, did I die back in the first Godzilla encounter, or did I die back in the war? Like, he has some really genuine breakdowns that were like really uncomfortable to watch sometimes. And I really just like how his wife, or quote unquote wife, just was comforting him through that and everything. I like their relationship in general, and how that went along, and how she survived at the end, which is a little cliche, but hey, I don't mind it. That man was getting handed L's. He needed some happiness in his life, so hey, let him get the W. I'm not really tripping. But yeah, he just had some really genuine PTSD breakdown moments, and just like survivor's guilt and stuff. I talked about the score. The score was really good. Yeah, I mean, shit, that's honestly like pretty much it. There's probably something else, but I'll probably remember it and add it to what I missed next week. There was a section. So like last week I said there was like a what I missed section, but I really didn't have anything at the top of my head that I missed like that. So yeah, but that's pretty much it on Shin Godzilla, or not Shin Godzilla, Godzilla Minus One. I really liked it a lot. I highly recommend it. Go out and support it. Yeah, it's a really solid watch, to be honest. So now we are on my weekly watch list. We got quite a few things this week. I'm gonna save the comic stuff for last, because I'm really enjoying what I'm reading about that. But I finished this show called Top Boy. It's like this UK gangster shit. It's really good, honestly. It starts off. It's a revival. So there was an original show called Top Boy Summer House, right? Back in like 2011. It was only like 4 episodes or so, hour long, but I guess it was a really good show back then. And it got canceled, I believe. And then Drake, the rapper, I guess really liked the show, so he put some money into it to revive it. And so they released I think the Summer House, Top Boy Summer House is 2 seasons, like 4 episodes each, so it's pretty short. But they released like 3 seasons of like the new one. So this came out fairly recently. I think it started maybe in 2021, 2022 type shit. I'm not sure. Could be a little earlier because there's 3 seasons. So, yeah. Hold on, I'm rubbing my eye. I'm tired. Oh, Jesus! Take the wheel. Oh, god damn, it's 1:56. Jesus. What was I saying though? Fuck. I know I was talking about Top Boy, but yeah, Drake revived it, but it's a really compelling show. The performances are great. The stakes. So my sister-in-law put me on with this show. I was pissed at her, not at her, but when I called her and told her I finished it, she was like, "Oh, you love the da da." I was like, I fucking hated the ending, and I did hate the ending. Like I just felt like it was so stupid, but there was a couple stupid things, but overall, it did set up what it did end on. I just did not enjoy the fucking events that was happening. Because I was just so connected to all the characters, just like, oh my fuck. But as great character work, I just really love it. And then also found out like mostly everyone in that fucking show is a UK like rapper, and they're pretty fucking popular. So that's something I found out about that. So that was pretty interesting. But it's a super solid show. I highly recommend it. And on the music side of stuff, I mentioned J100. Wait, did I mention this already? Bro, why? I just tried to go to my Spotify, bro, and it said it was blocked on my computer again, or it was unsafe link. So I'm just gonna go on my phone. I don't know if I talked about J100. I know I did, but I don't know because I have because I wanted to go back and give recommendations because I didn't do that, and I did it with Caribou, whatever her name is. But let me go back. So I didn't listen to a whole lot of music, but I listened to his tape, Don't Be a Dweeb Volume 1. And I grabbed Lobster Pasta, Empire Dinner, Oppenheimer, Murder Pain. I got those songs from it. I got to give it another listen, but those are ones that really like stood off to me in the first listen. But yeah, he just has a very unique, proper flow, and he makes a lot of anime, superhero, pop culture references that I like a lot. And he does it in ways that don't sound corny, so that's great. And then on still the music side of things, and a Detroit rapper, I think these both of you guys are from Detroit. A Detroit rapper Crispy Kid released a new tape. What is it called actually? I'm not like a Crispy Life for Crispy Life for Life. He really surprised me on this one. I'm not like a super huge Crispy Life Kid fan, but he definitely when he pops up on songs, I definitely don't dislike his contribution to the track. It was very proper. Contribution to the track. I like how you be sliding though. He just has a very Detroit flow. Not flow, but he be saying off the wall shit like on par with Detroit individuals. But the songs that I grabbed from that tape though was in my that's what I was saying though. He really surprised me because usually he's like a real, they call it spice talk. It's basically shit talking. He's a real shit talker and shit. He just be saying outlandish stuff on the tracks, but he did have a couple tracks on here that were like really more. And like I said, I'm not a super big Crispy Life fan, so maybe this will turn me into one. Check out his other shit. So basically, what I'm saying is he doesn't have like I don't know if he has more music like this, but he really like had a more mature flow and was talking about it wasn't all just like crazy ass punchlines and shit. It was actually some like, real shit. And I just didn't expect that from him. He's been more of a, like, the comedic type, He has good bars and shit, but, just outlandish. If you know Detroit rap, you know what I'm talking about. But the tracks I grabbed from that, though, were In My Feelings, Ice Rink, Back to the Basics, Sweepstakes, Pay Attention, Fast Dudes, Am I Wrong, Man, Shannon Sharp, Let Me Talk, and Genre of Spice Talk. So, yeah. So I damn near grabbed almost 14 songs on this tape, and I did not grab 2. So, shit, in my eyes, I guess he went 12 for 14. Really, some really Detroit artists that I like a lot, Babytron and Babyface, are on this. And I will say that they don't have their strongest verses on this. I don't think they're bad, but definitely not as strong as I've heard them rap before. But, which is interesting because, I usually hear, especially Crispy Life, like Babytron and Babyface Ease have some good like chemistry and shit with Crispy Life, so they definitely like kind of always produce a solid track. And so it was kind of surprising not to see them both not come as hard as usually I hear as they can type shit. Now pause. As good as they usually are, but on the other side of things, Crispy Life was way better than I expected. So yeah. A little give and take, I guess. I need to go back and finish. Not even go back. I talked about it a couple times. Pluto, an anime on Netflix, like with Astro Boy and shit. I was really liking that a lot. It's just I just got sidetracked, and them episodes are long as shit, boy. So I got super sidetracked on that. I want to go back and finish that. And also, I was watching like a RDC stream. If you don't know them, RDC. you probably seen a video of them or whatever, but they were talking about Mark. He was talking about Blue Eyed Samurai, and I was watching that. He says like, yeah, it was like he said it was super good, and I already heard that, but it was just like more reaffirming, like, damn, I need to go back and finish that type shit. So yeah, I want to go and finish those. Don't know if I have time, but definitely on my agenda. But the comics that I found this week, brother, I love it. So I'm reading a story right now. I was trying to get it finished before this episode, but I wasn't. I'm on issue 4. No, I'm issue 3. There's 4 issues. So it's called Wonder Woman Dead Earth. And bro, let me look up the artist for this, and it's by Johnson Daniel Warren. And like I said, I'm really still finding out who is the greats, like who writes really good stories and whatnot. So this came out in October 29th, 2020. He just is a very good, from what I've seen, he's a very good artist. And I just love his, it's like this, the faces are very soft looking, but they're very rough. And the world is like, it's very, this is not the right word at all. And I apologize because I don't really mean to describe his art this way. It's has this very unpolished look to it, but it's very polished, if that makes sense. Like it's very unique. I just love his art style so much. This is one of those, and I love reading stories like this. This is one of those stories where it really forces you to slow down your reading, especially with me with online comics. I read really fast, and sometimes I just don't appreciate the art. Like I just don't take it all in, and I get mad at myself when I do that. And this was one of those books where it just made me whoop 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 slow down and made me really appreciate the art. But let me explain the story. So we have a synopsis right here from Amazon, and they break it down pretty. So they say it's a pretty simple premise, to be honest. When Diana awakens from a centuries-long sleep, she discovers Earth has been reduced to a nuclear wasteland. Now she's marooned in a dark and dangerous future, protecting the last human city from titanic monsters and struggling to uncover the secret of this dead Earth and how she may be responsible for it. And the newest title from DC's critically acclaimed Black Label line, Daniel Warren Johnson, the celebrated creator of Murder, Falcon, and Extremity, mixes sci-fi and fantasy into a harrowing post-apocalyptic vision of Wonder Woman unlike anything you've ever seen. All right, so yeah, so it's a very unique story, and it really reminds me of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Not because like it has like any similar story beats, and maybe it does, but just like, you know, female characters just like thrust into this, you know, fucking fuck situation kind of. And it's just, the art, like I said, was great, and it's just cool seeing Wonder Woman traverse the DC universe and encounter different things. Like she has like Batman's utility belt equipped, and, you know, like some other shit, and like using some of his gadgets and whatnot. It's really cool, and just how it just goes through the DC universe. And I wish I was a little bit more like familiar with Diana's lore, or just the DC universe in general, just because like maybe this post-apocalyptic world would hit a little bit harder. Like I would get more of the references and shit, and some of the characters she's referencing. But and honestly, you don't need to know anything about Wonder Woman. I think it really, because it kind of explains her origins really well. So this is like a good starting story too. It's not like you need to know anything like super like previous or anything. It does a good job at catching you up on who Wonder Woman is and what she stands for and whatnot. And so it's really cool. So it's a really solid story that I'm reading. And so what is crazy is I was just on Twitter scrolling, and I saw these couple panels of Beta Ray Bill. If you don't know who that is, he's basically, I explained this earlier, but he's a horseman, and he has the power to wield Thor's hammer. And he ends up becoming friends with Thor and his dad, and Thor's dad ends up making him his own hammer, Stormbreaker, which is, they stole that for the movies. But anyways, so we see Beta Ray Bill in the MCU. Not him exactly, but there's a statue of at least someone from his race. I don't know if it's exactly Beta Ray Bill, but in Thor Ragnarok, when you go to Sakaar and you go to like the Wall of Champions or whatever, like has all the faces and shit, he's on there. And is he typically in Planet Hulk? I know he was. I don't want to say I know, but wasn't he in the Planet Hulk movie? Not sure, but I was just randomly scrolling through Twitter and I stumbled upon a couple panels of Beta Ray Bill, and it was just really compelling because so I did not know that Beta Ray Bill wasn't always a horse person. Like he was this humanoid, more like humanoid person, like more fuck. He looked more like a human. Like he was orange and shit, but he like had I don't think he had like a nose or anything, but he looked more human. Wasn't horseman, but he was like cybernetically engineered to look like that and some shit to fight for his people or something like that. And then like Odin, when he made Stormbreaker, he like put a enchantment on it so Beta Ray Bill can go back humanoid form. And in the story, I didn't start reading yet. This was all from the panels I seen. Uh, in the story, I guess him and Thor had some falling out or something, and he took the enchantment away, so now he's like stuck as horseman. And so I guess he had a relationship with Lady Sif, and that's one of the part of the warriors of Thor's little cast of characters I was talking about earlier. And they're like, hooking up, and he's about to like get down and dirty with her. And then she's just like, oh, can you like not change to your human form? And he's just like, yada yada yada, I can't. And she's just like, and he looks at himself in the mirror, and it's like a really, really sad shot. Like you can, and with Daniel Warren Johnson, his art, I'm stop talking like I fucking consume all of it, but bro, he's made an impression on me so far. But you just see he just through his horse face, his ugly ass horse face. Sorry, Beta Ray Bill. This is kind of like insensitive. Fuck you, you're not real. You just see the expressiveness and there's just like the fucking despair in his face. It's just so harrowing. And she's like, I'm not blind. And so he's like, yeah, I know. And like he kind of just like leaves the room, and it's just like so fucked. And it's just like, but then I was looking at the panels. I was like, wow, that was a really strong moment. But then I was like, I kind of recognize this art. And I was like, no way, it's the same guy. And it looked it up, and it was the same fucking guy. And I guess like, and I was reading some of the replies, and she's like, yeah, this runs super good and shit. So right after I finished Wonder Woman, I'm checking out that Beta Ray Bill comic because one, I really like him. I really like him, his aesthetic and shit. I don't know. I didn't even know he wasn't a fucking horse person, so I don't know a ton about him. But like, he's been sprinkled in media outside of the comics. If you don't know, I'm like really just now starting to get into comics, like actually read them myself. I would keep up with storylines here and there, but actually like reading and shit and buying them and picking up issues and shit. But yeah, he's like been sprinkled in like cartoons and whatnot that I've seen. Any games? Maybe not any games, but I've always just liked him as a thought, as a character. I just wanted to see more of him. So now I'm in the comics, so I can see where he comes from. So I'm gonna read that Beta Ray Bill comic and hopefully find some more shit. But we are almost done. We're for hour two half right now. That's pretty. It's a lot. I think that's all on the weekly watch list. The last thing before we close out is Pondering My Orb. Pondering My Orb as we reset for the week, and I reset for the week, and hopefully that, and I reflect on stuff that I maybe didn't do as well as I wanted to, and just put it in perspective and gear up for the week, and hopefully that makes you do the same. But this week though, I want to, as we're heading on to the new week, I want to focus on just fucking staying on top of shit, bro. Just getting a little bit done each day, especially with like editing and shit. I just like don't take advantage of, like, I just be trying to block out a extended period of time, just like a big chunk of time in a row, and it just doesn't work out usually. And I just need to be better at capitalizing on the little moments that I have editing, and just like whether it's like just a quick 30 minutes or an hour or some shit, just get that in real quick. And if I do like an hour in the morning before I go to work and shit, and I do 2 hours when I get home or whatever the case, that's 3 hours right there. Or if I do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours when I get home, that's 4 hours of editing right there. So it's just really, or even 30 minutes before I, in the morning or whatever it is, just doing a little bit by little, whether that's also editing or script writing or something, bro. Just doing a little bit to further my channel and try to stay consistent. Because, bro, I know I got the content for sure. It's just staying consistent and getting my name out there. But yeah, that's my thing. But this was a great episode. It was a late one. It's 2:12 right now. I don't know if you can hear my voice, but I am pretty tired. I might not go to sleep. I'm definitely not fucking editing this or editing my video. I haven't been playing the game a lot. Maybe I'll hop on the game or something, or try to finish one of these shows that I've been watching. Oh, I think there's a new Godzilla or Legacy of Monarch episode I gotta watch. So maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure, but follow my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth for my main YouTube videos, highly edited and shit. And it's just like more like on different ideas I have. My last videos were some gameplay shit, but my last videos for before that was they should make Super Saiyan 4 canon. I'm really proud of that video. It was a shorter one. It got like 2.5k views. That's a lot for me. I've been told to, appreciate the progress that I make, and not just because I was gonna say, that's not really a lot, but compared to other shit, for me it's a lot, and I should be appreciative of that. What's it called? So yeah, and then follow my second YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth Extended for other gameplay shit. And I'm gonna be playing through Cyberpunk very soon. Actually, the new update. I want to wait for this new update. Then I'm gonna get Phantom Liberty, start the game over, and we're gonna rock and roll. But the new update drops Tuesday, so expect something on my second channel that this coming up week. So yeah, I said follow, or I didn't say it yet. But it's late, brother. Follow me on Twitter at DS2 Smooth, on Instagram at DS2 Smooth, and on TikTok at DS2 Smooth. And for the YouTube counterparts of those, on those same platforms, DS2 Smooth YT. On my TikTok, I post like clips of my YouTube channel, and I've been trying to post, other just TikTok shit. I just don't use the app like that, so I don't know what's trending and what the trending sounds are and shit. I literally just post and go. I just don't feel like putting time in a whole nother app, but I should honestly, if I should be putting in time in any app, it should be TikTok. It's very good for growth, and that's what I've been meaning to do, is put some clips of my podcast on there, create a channel for account for my podcast so I can put some clips up. But I just it's so time consuming, brother. But yeah, follow me on the socials. I'm really trying to, I got to promote this podcast more, though, because I literally don't promote it at all. And it's kind of an outlet for me, but just for growth reasons and monetary reasons, I got to really try to put some effort into promoting this. Because, like, how I look at it is just, I know that for sure, bro, if I keep at it, I'm going to be big. But at the very least, though, and this is just thinking small, and I'm thinking big. I don't want to touch the fucking sun, but let's just think small for a second. Like, at the very least, like, I want YouTube and this shit to replace my main job. Like, I don't necessarily have to be fucking rich or anything, or being able to take fucking 5 vacations in a year or some shit like that. That would be great. Well, that will be great, because I will definitely get there. But, standard goal is at least to replace the 9 to 5, or at least replace it to an extent where it's like I'm just on some part-time shit at the very, very least. But for sure, I want to go full-time with this, for sure. Yeah, I don't know really where I was going with that, to keep it a buck. It's late, and I'm about to fucking, yeah, hi, baby. Whatever. Fuck. Hey, that's the end of the show. I'll see you guys next. Oh, hold on. Next week's topic. I gotta think about that. There's a new fucking animated Studio Ghibli movie or some shit, and has a really good it looked interesting, but it has a really good English cast, like Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe is fucking in that shit. So that seems interesting. So if I get around to seeing that, that will be the main topic of next week. If not, it'll be something. If GTA 6, if the trailer is that like fucking extensive and banger, that might be the whole fucking episode, but we will see. It's gonna be something, I promise ya. But that's pretty much it for this episode. I'll catch you guys next week, Tuesday. Oh, and also, fuck, I literally said I was about to end it. I recorded this like on Saturday night. Right now it's fucking Sunday because it's 2:17. So if I miss if there's any big Sunday news, oh fucking well, I'll get it next week. But yeah. Oh, it's cracking my back. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. See ya.